Well, hello everybody, and welcome again to DECT Today magazine and the DECT Forum YouTube channel. Now we're staying with the subject matter of DECT NR+, but this time we're stepping outside of the immediate industry and looking into the world of academia. The DECT Forum has had quite a long relationship with academics, and we would like to see this continue. Today I'm talking to Stephan Ludwig of Aalen University, and we're going to get into this conversation now. So Stephan, can you tell us about yourself and your background?
Yeah, good day, Vince. Thank you very much for having me. I'm a professor for communications engineering and radar signal processing since 4 years now with Aalen University. Since I was a student, I designed wireless communication systems. I have some experience in the defense sector. And then before I became a professor was 6 years at Bosch Research, where we looked into, using 5G, 3GPP based 5G in factory automation.
Okay. Well, tell us a bit more about Aalen University then, how it interacts with the technology industry and the specific focus of your department.
Yeah, well, Aalen is south of Germany and in the south of Germany, and it's a University of Applied Sciences. And the name is what it stands for. So we cooperate with a lot of companies which we have here in the neighborhood. Just to name some, there's Voigt Turbo and hydrogen, for example. There's Size Industrial, high precision metrology, or Avata microbattery, for example. But we also have many small and medium-sized enterprises, hidden champions in the special purpose machinery manufacturing area, and that's what we basically cooperate with on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, and how does it work? Because I'll be honest and say I don't understand this myself. Does a department like yours become involved in hands-on work, in implementations and testing, or do you only get involved in theoretical research?
Yeah, it's more hands-on, right?
Okay.
Most of our students have to take an internship within the companies, and through this there's already a close cooperations. Most of the students then go on and take their thesis also in cooperation with a company where they're seated at the company. So and then in research we have most of our research projects being industry corporations, either funded by third parties, ministry, government, and so on. So we're right into this. Most of the companies we have here, they somehow produce goods in a high wage labor region in Germany. So they need to highly automate and use digital processes, and also have a very highly flexible way of producing things. And so we just finished off a big project funded by the German ministry, where we had some bigger companies around here on using cellular 5G exactly for manufacturing. So how can we automate processes more efficiently? How can we give this flexibility from wireless things into to a benefit of these companies in their production, cost reduction in particular? And so typically we walk with our partners from, let's say, adopting theory down to products.
Okay, and how did you first become aware of DECT NR+ and the work of companies like Nordic Semiconductor, Warpass, and of course Sennheiser? And it was Andreas Wilczek of Sennheiser who actually made the introduction between us. So thank you, Andreas, for that.
Yeah, that was actually a bit curious. So 10 years ago, back at Bosch, we had a cooperation with Wirepass, and they were telling me about some new things they're gonna do. I didn't understand too much, and frankly, I did not see the story back then. And then, about maybe 7 years later or so, right, the Andreas, so vice chair at the DECT, gave a presentation and presented a similar story that we have with this 5G project. which was basically using small cells in niche applications, being very flexible, and 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 I out of sudden I understood the story, right? So it was perfectly aligned with our overall motivation of the project, and this basically then set me on fire, right?
So from your perspective as an academic, what was it about DECT NR Plus that really interested you?
Well, first of all, it's a European technology, and if you have a look around through all these other big wireless technologies, we're in Europe still trying to somehow cope with that, and experiencing a lot of disadvantages from not having our own technology where we can have got on. For me, the appealing thing was that it is a lightweight standard, right? No unnecessary features. The students can get hold of it quickly and play around with it and get it into operation. And yeah, in fact, I observe in the factory automation that they are somehow desperate to have a wireless and reliable wireless way of communication, not for everything, but for particular use cases that they have. And they have been very much disappointed by previous attempts, and I now then saw that NR Plus is easy, simple, yet robust, and it can fulfill these requirements that 3GPP, for example, was not able to deliver up to now. And then, of course, there's this exclusive spectrum, which is a big plus for the automation industry. Nobody else is playing around, and there are these, let's say, tight coexistence rules, and this is exactly what you want to have if you operate a plant, and you need to deliver 24/7 stability. Process stability stands above all, and so I see that for our partners it's really appealing.
There are some persuasive arguments for DECT NR Plus, aren't there? So, okay, moving forwards, how can universities and academia generally contribute to the development of a standard and to the design, development, and rollout of a technology such as DECT NR Plus?
Yeah, well, I think the industry should be a bit cautious about, when academia is proposing new things, because they tend to be fancy and at some bleeding edge. And from my experience, most of the time, you maybe not need the bleeding edge, fancy, high featured solution, but a simple, but reliable solution, right? So I think industry should check if there's a proposal from academia, right, to check whether there's really a true and real benefit, and whether this idea proves in reality. And if this solution then turns out to be really effective, simple, robust, right, then I think it's a good contribution. And we in academia, we also maybe need to learn this a bit more, to respect this, also to respect the experience of an existing technology, of experience in the field of many years. But then I think academia turns out to be one of the transfer paths to get the technology into, multiplied into the field, right? So we educate the new generation of engineers, and if they know there is a technology out there that's somehow reliable and beneficial, then I think the industry should leverage this this one transfer path, and there are many more, but that's the one we're talking about.
Well, indeed, and of course, it's making sure that as many people know about this as possible. So, from your side, with the research you carry out at Aalen University, is that of value to, and in fact shared with academics around the world?
Yeah, I think so. We're trying to, right? On the one hand, we also see in wireless communication that there are maybe not that big revolutionary new inventions that come in. Well, I'm curious what will be the next, but that's somehow there seems to be some type of saturation, or we're entering some way of saturation. And so I think we should step back and then have again a look what went good, what went not so good, and where can we improve in detail, right? So when we were in this pacey time of mobile communications, where the next big feature came out, we did not have too much time to look into too much of the details and look left and right of this path. So, and that's somehow something we'd like to do. So we just started a project called DECT together with companies like R3 Solutions, Phytech here in Frankfurt, Yuma Technologies, also Germany. And I consider them us being a strong consortium because we have this connection to the automation industry and also intralogistics. And of course, we as the university will share our insights, our knowledge, not only with the academia, of course. And yes, we'd love to share it also with others and with everyone, ideally within some new projects. As you know, university does not pay itself.
No.
So we're really keen on cooperating.
Okay. So this is the point where I ask you for your personal opinion about how ambitious we should all be getting and optimistic about the overall potential for DECT NR+.
Well, I'm very optimistic. But on the long run, right? In industry automation, I think there's a big benefit they can gain from it. But as I already said, there was a big disappointment, and we need to manage to keep the system robust and as reliable as the classic DECT. If we manage so, then I think we can overcome these disappointments. And the automation industry is very conservative. So we need to work hard for acceptance. But in return, there will be also a big, fulfilling and long-lasting, how you say, relationship with this industry, if we can deliver. And who else than NR+ could deliver this?
Fantastic. Well, we want to make sure that that happens as well, and we also want to make sure that the relationships we have with people like yourself, Stephan, improve and is as good as it possibly can be. How can the DECT Forum interact better with the world of academia?
Yeah, I think it's a mutual thing, right? So we as academia also need to understand and also appreciate that in the industry there is a long-lasting and a high level of experience, and on the other hand, we as the academia have all these, the young wild guys with their new ideas, and I think mixing them and also creating a bit of friction will be to the benefit of the technology. So let's bring them together and maybe industry could offer us more or less easy ways for getting on track with the technology. That would be really great to have, because students come and go and they only have a limited amount of time to get accompanied to the topic and so on. And if we could ease this entry point, that would be great.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for that, Stephan. Those words will get back and will be acted upon, I hope. I think we're done for today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for the feedback and the input that you've given us. And let's do what we can to maintain this good relationship between the DECT Forum, Aalen University and academia in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vince. I'd be happy to continue in this, and have a great day.
Okay, thank you.